Hello and welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And if you're listening to us right now on iTunes, won't you be so kind and leave a 5-star review? You can say whatever you want and I will read it. This episode is brought to you by Manscaped. Look, I'm here to promote this is a very special deal going on right now. It's the Valentine's Day themed lawnmower 3.0. So I'm gonna read a poem for you guys to get you inspired. Roses are red, violets are blue. Get Manscaped as a gift for V-Day, and he'll say, I love you. Oh, that's so cute. Our friends at Manscaped, the global leaders in men's below-the-waist grooming, are here to tell you that your man needs to trim up so he can be ready for anything, and I mean anything, even anal, on the special night. Did you know, Fred, that 2 million men are already trusting Manscaped products to groom down below? So make sure your man, that means your man, Fred, is one of them. The best way to get started is with the Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0, full of the best products to keep his balls looking, smelling, and feeling nice for the both of you. The Perfect Package 3.0 is led by their revolutionary third-generation Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer, which has advanced skin-safe technology. Ooh, cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. Let me see if I can pull up this website so you can check out these products. Here we go. Boom. Check out this technology. Are you jealous?
What is that? That looks like something from NASA.
It's basically, this is the performance package right here. We got the ball preserver, ball toner. These products really are great because I bought some for Frank, and it's really good. It's basically like very high quality tools for your family jewels. I didn't make that up. That's their rhyme. But it's great. It's like after he was done, all I wanted to do was put his balls in my mouth. I just was like, I want nothing more than this. So ladies, if you're listening to this, get your man this stuff. Because it's a gift for you if you think about it. You're going to get 20% off plus free shipping with the code CMP at manscaped.com. Check this out, guys. This is really the thing. Manscaped.com. 20% off. You will get free shipping with the code CMP. Give yourself a Valentine's Day gift. Because honestly, all this stuff is going in your mouth anyway. You might as well make it nice. Right? Right, Fred?
Balls, by the way. I've been meaning to ask you.
How are what?
Frank's balls.
Frank's balls are great. I usually was like kind of lukewarm about a man's balls, but I love Frank's balls. There, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it out loud.
That's nice. That's nice. No, it's something for the whole family, really.
Well, hopefully not. This episode is also brought to you by Cushy Dreams. Cushy Dreams, if you've heard me talk about them before, it's basically very high quality CBD, and it's smokable CBD. It comes in these tins right here, or in these pre-rolled, but they're basically pre-rolled joints, and it's very chic in this package right here. 100% machine trimmed. It's legit. They do tons of tests for quality and purity. Best of all, it's grown right here in the USA. Shipped right here in the USA, legal in all 50 states. You know, you guys, it's 2021, and if you're looking to bring your anxiety down a level, I highly suggest smoking CBD. It's great. It really calms down my mind and my body. But it's like if you're sensitive to weed and you don't want to go woo to La La Land, this smoke your CBD, guys. It will make a huge difference. Again,
and have anxiety about shaving your balls. You do
exactly. If you're anxious about how your balls are going to look hairless, you need to smoke a little CBD first, and then fire up the old Manscaper and let it rip. And they have all these different strains of indica sativa blends, like create, energy, hustle, dream, peace, relax. So whatever you want to do with your day, Cushy Dreams is here to help. Go to cushydreams.com, KUSHY dreams.com. Use the promo code CMP. You're going to get 20% off every single order plus free shipping. It does not get better than that, guys. I'm so excited to coming to the stage. You like how I have this like these curtains here? I'm really making the most. Fred, can you possibly turn? Are you on your phone right now?
I am.
Can you turn it sideways?
I don't know. Does that work like that, or look at that?
Yes. Oh my God. Now we're in business.
Close. Like I want to be far enough that you can see me, but not like nose hair close.
This is good. I think you've hit a good. You're coming to the stage, comedian, Facebook entertainer. He's gone viral on Facebook. He is a cooking show host, been a friend of mine for many years. I've always been an admirer and a fan of his comedy. Fred Rubino, everybody. Yes.
Hi, you're too kind.
Welcome to the show. You're very patient with my ad reads. Woo! I got a little cough.
A little COVID.
A little Rona cough. I know you can't cough anymore. That's what the Rona has really ruined. You can't just have a cough anymore. It's a cough. It has to mean something. It's like everyone has to look at you.
And I used to like a hacking cough too, not just. I mean, nothing used to get you a seat at the bar than the hacking cough.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Now.
I've had such a day. So, like, I don't know if you guys know, but I have a little turtle. I have a little Herman tortoise. It's actually like my boyfriend's kid's turtle, but like I'm here all day taking care of it. And like, really, we have become buds. Me and this turtle have become such buds over the lockdown. And I like check on him. I feed him. I give him little baths. And the last couple of days he wasn't eating, and today like his body went like totally limp, and we were like, oh my God, he's dead. Like, what the fuck, he's dead. And then I was like and then I just I put him down, very, very sad. An hour later I went back, picked him up, and he like opened his mouth and he looked like he was yawning. I was like, oh my God, Iggy, you're fucking alive. And then I was like, you know what, I took him to the vet. First I had to call around many different vets. Yeah. Because not every vet handles turtles.
Yeah.
You dog and cat people don't know how good you have it, honestly, because that you'll be accepted everywhere with open paws. Not me. I had to call around and find a place that would take a turtle. And I mean, of course, happy to spend money on this thing not dying, but I was not prepared for the amount of money that I would be charged.
Oh. Come on.
I was not prepared. I've never taken an animal to the vet before.
What was it, like a shell pendectomy or something?
No. Well, that's the thing is he's so small. He's palm sized. So it was like, of course, in his emergency visit, they got to charge you for the emergency. I was like, but he's so slow, like, can't it just be like, can't you just take your time with it? And I guess he was too little to take blood. This woman wanted to take x-rays. She wanted to do, and this thing, he's this big. He's so small. He's teeny tiny. And she's like, well, I don't really know what's wrong until I take x-rays. And then she told us the price for the x-rays. And we were like, well, we're just going to take him back and, I don't know, give him a nice warm bath and do the Lord's Prayer. And then she was like, all right. I'm pretty sure it's this respiratory thing. I don't know. Here, let me give you, I think I might give him a vitamin shot. I'm like, okay, yes, let's give him
there you go.
the vitamin. But, I feel like she was dishonest. I feel like she had a feeling of what was wrong with him. But she just wanted to see if we would pay for fucking turtle x-rays first, which I don't like that. I don't appreciate that.
I'm always leery of that. I lost my dog about 3 months ago. She was old. She was 14. But when before that, I rushed her to the emergency room like 4 times in 4 months. And I'm always the guy, they're like, she's got to stay over. I go, give her a shot and I'm getting the fuck out of here. She's 15 years old. Okay. Right. And then they would just do it and she'd be good for a while and then come back. But no. I don't go for that either.
So you're kind of just like, oh, and I was with my boyfriend's mom, by the way. She was like, you don't have to spend all that money. I got a boot. And I was like, no, let's not.
No.
I was like, I don't want to squash the thing. And here's what I hated the most about this vet, Fred, is that she was like, well, I can either start it. She was selling me the X-ray package with the antibiotics, this whole thing that was going to be over $500. It was already $175 for the emergency visit, which is like, oh, I guess I'm here. You know what I mean? As soon as you're there, you're like, you've got me by the balls. What else is going to happen?
Balls.
Yeah, it was either completely dump out your whole wallet, or she was like, or we could euthanize. Guess how much it costs to put down a turtle?
A dime?
A tiny turtle. No, it costs $120 to euthanize a turtle. So I was like, wait a minute, if we just take him back and we shove a little $40 shot in his arm. Oh my, I couldn't believe it, because I feel like she had us cornered. It was like, you either have to pay us to kill him or pay me to take all these fucking x-rays and he still might die.
Meanwhile, you leave that turtle in front of a Chinese restaurant in about 4 minutes.
It's gonna be in the happy family. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
So it was very stressful. So we had her give it a little shot in the arm, I guess, of some kind of vitamin. Good. And she was like being shitty to me. She was like, what kind of husbandry is going on? Husbandry is like how you treat the turtle. Like what is the enclosure like? What is the food like? Are you up to and I was like, don't you dare. I was like, my shit is on point. I have been giving him a varied diet. I give him daily little water baths. I am checking his shit. Like I am, don't you dare.
How much could a fucking turtle tank vary? And like I keep her in the tank. Everybody else, I keep her in the tank. I feed it. What the fuck are you supposed to do with a turtle?
Right. I don't let him run around. He doesn't get to go outside.
On ecstasy at clubs. What the fuck you think I'm doing with the turtle?
It was crazy. I was like, I was like, I put the chips in it, the chips with the turtle on it that you buy from the store, the pet store. So it's like everything I've bought has been turtle approved, turtle packaged,
How old is this turtle, if you don't mind me asking?
So we got him in April when I think he was like, 2 or 3 months old when we got him? A couple weeks old when we got him in April. And now it's January.
I was watching PBS, the Galapagos. They live for 120 fucking years.
Well, that's what we were expecting. We were like, you know what? We're going to be with this turtle for the next 50 years. It's not going to be like a dog that dies after 15. This is going to be a lifetime pet. And then I saw him like that. And I was like, oh my God.
Like here, I've had it for 50 years. Good luck for the next 50. Something to burden you.
Yes, like an heirloom. You pass it down like China, like family China. So I was not prepared for this thing to like almost die. It's very sad.
It's old. That's a boot. You got a bootleg turtle. That's what you got.
That's what I wonder. And then the vet lady, she was like, well, maybe it's bad genes. Maybe he has bad bones in his genes. I'm like, don't talk about his bones. Like
that's a damn pedigree that I bought. It comes from a long line of regal turtles.
Yeah, we bought him from the internet. He came in a box. He came in a little deli soup container. I'm like, this checks out. So it was a very stressful day. I like called an Uber because like Frank was out doing like comedy stuff, which was great, and this is just like the one day all this shit happened to us. So I call an Uber and I show up with a box, with a shoe box. The Uber driver's looking at me like, are you about to bomb my Uber? I'm like, it's a turtle. He's very sick. I'm like, oh, he thinks I'm crazy. That's what's going on.
Like you say, yes, it's a bomb. You got me. Fuck. I'll take a lift. Forget it.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? I'll leave you a 5-star review.
Meanwhile, the guy's an Arab. He probably got 18 terrorists in his family.
Yeah. Fred, this is why I brought you here. I wanted to talk not about my turtle, but tortoise, but it's easier to say turtle. But how's
your turtle?
Yeah, it does sound sexual. It does
Yeah.
sound sexual to ask, how's your turtle doing? I remember, I think one of the first times I saw you perform was at up in the not the Catskills, but yeah, up in that area, like upstate New York at Villa Roma. Remember that place?
Yes.
I feel like you're there a couple times a year. I mean, if we're talking before times, before the pandemic stuff,
I have been.
you
This was this year they canceled everything, but I should be back there this summer. So
good.
look for me by the pool.
Well, that's what's kind of awesome about Villa Roma, and I forget who else I've talked about this with. Maybe like Chris Monty. I haven't had him on the show yet, but I just in passing because like I'll go up there a bunch because Frank's parents have a condo, and it's just fun, and you will see people from the show just at the pool, and it's kind of nice that you can like really get up close and personal and be like, hey, were you on stage? Now I'm seeing you half naked.
I seen the when I was there last time. I seen the DJ from WCBS.
Oh yeah, what's his name? What's that DJ's name from WCBS? The old guy, Causey, Joe Causey.
Yeah.
Yep, he's always stretched out by the pool, covered in grease and oil, trying to get tan.
Yeah, I seen him there. I was like, "Is that Joe Causey?" I said, "I'm not going up to him until he puts his shirt on. I'm not, you know."
He's like, I remember I met him, God, because I signed up to do the cannoli eating contest a few summers ago. Don't ask me why. I don't enjoy competitive. I don't enjoy competitive eating. I also don't even like cannolis. So I should have known it wasn't going to go well. And I don't understand. I don't know how people can enter these cannoli eating contests, like just gulping them down like it's nothing. And I'm like, these are thick. These are dense. It's like, I'm dipping it in water. I was like, ugh, nothing's helping. Like this, it was gross. But that's how I met him. And he was like, whoa, look at this lady. And I was like covered in cannoli cream, like not looking respectable. But what I like about being up there, it's like, it feels like a nice family environment. And it's all Italians. And which I wasn't prepared for at first. The first time I got there, I was like, oh, wow, literally everyone who's here is Italian.
And it's like they break, everybody's identified on what week you go up there.
Yep. Yeah.
On stage, and I was like, I just said like a week. I was like, you ever notice like when your friend is there every year for 25 years, it's like your week 36.
Yeah. And they go, ah!
And they, week 38. What are you talking about? I was like,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they're a bunch of jabronis. Like, they suck. Week 29 is where it's at. No, it's not. It's week 36. And I've been up there on many different weeks. They're all alcoholics. It doesn't matter what week you come.
That's the best part of it, you know.
They'll make shirts.
With your kids, you know, and you just let them go. And if they come back, they come back.
It's a free-for-all. It's like you go down by the pool. It's like they just let their kids go. It's like, I'll see you at the end of the day. I'll see you 4 or 5 o'clock. Like, come find mommy. She'll have her head in a bucket of wine.
He's fine. He's 8. He's fine.
So you've been performing at Villa Roma now, and I'm just using this as an example because I have many vivid details and because I enjoy being there. It's like, it's kitschy. It reminds me of like, I don't know, as a kid, we would go to Lake George a few summers in a row. And it just reminds me of like, it's not like fancy. It's not like super nice or up to date, but there's something kind of like, it feels like summer camp in a way.
It really does. It does, right? The bungalows and who's there.
Who's there? So much shit talking, gossip.
The seasonite that everybody eats until they vomit.
But Fred, these are all mostly Italians. So, and I feel like you're also Italian. You specialize in Italian humor. So what do Italian people tend to laugh at? The same stuff as everybody else? Or was it a learning curve?
It's a lot of family-oriented humor because we all come from big, crazy families. So everybody laughs about that. And they also laugh at like vendettas. Like, oh yeah, I hate this guy, I hate that guy. That's what they do at the dinners, by the way. It's like the best dinner. It's the Caesar's night, and everybody sits there and go, Did you taste this? It's a little rich. It's a little sour. It's a little bit, but they don't stop eating. They eat like they got two assholes. But the whole time they're doing it, they're complaining about the food. So it's a lot of complaining, Yuma.
Hold on a second. I missed your whole thing. Hold on. I pulled my thing out. Okay, I was trying to go no speakers. Okay, take it from Caesar's night.
Well, what I was saying is it's a lot of complaining.
Wait, why can't I hear you? Fuck. There you go. Go. Caesar's night.
A lot of complaining.
Why can't I hear you? Okay. Oh, shit. Hold on, Fred. What did I do? What did I do to the audio? Oh, dear. All right, I'm gonna
unplug your headphones, maybe.
Unplug my headphones. I unplugged them. Hold on. We're gonna get this audio. Okay, what about now?
What about now? No? Yes? Hello? What? Two?
What about now? Test.
No? Yeah? Huh? Shoot?
Wow. All right, crap. I can't hear this at all. I don't know what happened. Did I mute myself? No. Did I mute Fred? No.
I'm very mutable.
Audio. Let me try plugging it back in. Wow. The more I get familiar with this technology, the more it just wants to fuck me over. Okay. Can you hear me now, Fred?
I hear you perfectly the whole time. But you don't hear me right
now. Oh, there you are. Okay. I'm so sorry. Take it from Caesar's night. Very organically.
Did something to that turtle. You unplugged it. You didn't realize it. And this is what happens.
Oh, no. I don't think so. I think I was really on point with the turtle. But that's the thing. That's what's so hard about having a pet that can't speak or talk. Like, I haven't even heard it squeak. It makes no noises.
Most pets can't talk. I think that CBD stuff, if you hear your pet talking, just scale back on that CBD, okay?
Yeah, I should stop blowing it into his face, I guess. It's like, what? I got you a butt plug from Adam and Eve. I got you why won't you shave your balls? I don't know. Okay. So from what you're saying is that Italians love vendettas, revenge, gossip.
They love everything, but it's a lot of complaining, Yuma. Because no matter how good Italians have it, there's always the complaint. Always. Like I said, Caesar's night there. It's all this food, as much as you can eat. And as they're eating it, until they can't move or breathe. Oh, did you taste these? Did you taste the ravioli? Yeah, you had 16 of the fucking things. They have to be pretty good.
There's a lot of overeating going. I've noticed that too, but like food is love in Italian culture, which I never realized because I grew up in a German Norwegian household where just it's the complete opposite. Like my mom would never make enough food. And I remember there was an Easter where I went to go get some ham and she was like, Chrissie, no, the meat is for the men. And I was like, what? It was literally just like my dad and my grandma's boyfriend at the time. I'm like, there's not that. Why can't we all have ham?
No, it's like, what were you living under Sharia law?
She just was never great at cooking. And then like Italians, like, not only do you make enough for everybody to eat, but you make like a lot of extra food, which I was very new to this making extra food deal, like leftovers, like people can take it home or you can eat it tomorrow. My mom would make just enough what she thought everyone should be eating. So it's like, if somebody was like a little bit overweight, she'd make just a little bit less for you. And my dad would give us shit, like especially on like Thanksgiving or Christmas, any kind of eating holiday. If we went up to go get seconds, like we would get shit for it. He would be like, "Oh really? Oh really? You're getting dessert? Okay, yeah."
In my house, if there was one of the foods ran out, even though everyone is so full, if there was no more pasta, It was the biggest fucking. There's no more. What the fuck did you only made 18 pounds of pasta? What's wrong?
I can't imagine. Like, I think I would be, I don't know, I'd be such a different person if I grew up in an Italian household. Because, like, my boyfriend grew up in an Italian household, and it's like, you're just like, wait a minute. You really do feel so loved because you don't feel like you're being judged by how much you've eaten. Because everyone's just eating a lot.
Right.
But it's also like nobody's obsessing about it either. It's like, eat a lot, don't eat a lot, whatever. It's there. I think the point is that you've put it out. Like, you've put out a lot of food.
We cook food when no one's here and no one's coming over. So we have it in case someone comes in and goes, "What are you doing? You're sitting there. How about some macaroni pie? Or would you like some?" Because it's just there. I can't tell you how many times we've cooked and there was no more room in the refrigerator.
What were some of the favorite things that like what were some of your memories, or like what do you remember your mom or dad making? Like, what was always in your house growing up?
There was always sauce and there was always spaghetti. So on Sunday, you had a big pot of sauce with spaghetti. And then during the week, there was extra spaghetti. And I'm not talking about a little spaghetti. There was a pot of extra spaghetti, and we would fry it.
Wow.
3 a.m. from a club, you just in the refrigerator eating cold spaghetti.
Like a psycho.
You know, and there was always food all the time. There was never no food, never.
Were you born and raised New Yorker?
Yes, I was born on the Lower East Side in Manhattan, and then we moved to Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
Damn. So you grew up. What did you say?
The Brooklyn was like the country from Manhattan.
So as someone who grew up in New York, and you probably saw when it was real shitty, to now I think New York has come full circle to being shitty again. What is your take on everything that you've seen, how you've seen the city change?
The biggest part of what happened to the city is I seen it when it was all mom and pop stores, not just Italian. Or the Jews had their own stores, and they were all mom and pop. The Irish had their own stores. The Puerto Ricans, everybody was like a family-owned stores, whether it was a restaurant, a hardware store, whatever it was. Now, it's not like that. I don't know who owns these stores, but nobody's got a pair of balls anymore. You would have told in the 70s, if you would have told the guy who's got the pizza joint for 40 years, you got to close, nobody could go in. He'd go, "Fuck you, I'll go to jail. You could find me every day. You could padlock me every day. I'm opening, fuck you." And everybody lost their balls. I don't understand it.
Yeah, that's definitely what it seems like. I can only name maybe 2 businesses that have the attitude of what you're describing, like, fuck it, I'm staying open. It's literally this gym, the Attilas gym in Belmar, which is in New Jersey. You what?
And the Staten Island guy.
And the Staten Island guy, and that's it. And nobody else has balls.
No one else has balls. I don't think they realize what could they do to you. You're running you're running a diner. What are they gonna do? Put 2 cops in front of the diner all day? Okay. Also the bars. I used to go to bars. They used to let you in. You were 15. They didn't give a shit. Kid, you get in trouble. You didn't fucking drink here. Remember? Oh,
yeah.
You know, so, okay, the bars are closed. Go to the back door. What happened to the speakeasies?
Right.
Funnies, they had balls. They don't have balls. Go in the back door. We'll let all our old customers in. Have some drinks.
Yeah, why is there no backdoor action going on, Fred? I, for one, could go for some backdoor action.
Of course.
Yeah, there's no balls. And I think I'm shocked that it's not already happening, but I would love to see some black market bars or gray market or just like more underground speakeasy stuff popping up. Because it's like, oh, do you guys just not want to make a living? You're just gonna let people ruin your livelihood? Like, right. You're just gonna be okay with it? I can't. Yes, it's scary. Nobody wants to get fined, but these guys, the guys that are fighting back, the Staten Island guys, I think won their claim. They're not gonna have to pay any of their fines.
Right, and listen. you're not going to do any business. You're eventually going to close and lose your whole business. You're going to lose your kids' college fund. You're going to lose everything that's associated with your livelihood. So just open. They padlock you, cut it open. 10,000 a day, the fine.
Just don't pay it. Yeah.
I'm done anyway. And whatever it is, you're going to do it anyway. You might as well do it like that. And then if everybody on the block sees, man, he's open, let's get open. Eventually, they're going to say, we don't have enough padlocks in New York City to padlock every place 5 times a day. That's it. Have a pair of balls. That's all. New York used to be balls. No more.
What do you think happened?
Their balls are in there. They just got to manscape them to find them.
Maybe that's it, Fred. Maybe they just need to shave away the pubes and the balls will resurface.
That might be it.
What do you think happened to the balls, Fred?
I think what happened to the balls is that they're not family-owned businesses anymore. They're a bunch of like all these restaurants, let's say downtown Brooklyn and stuff like that. You never see it's like the old guy from Sicily, the guy who came from Puerto Rico, and he's making some good rice and beans, and everybody look. It's 2 millionaires who got together and say, "Hey, let's open up a brick oven art, fucking gobbledygots,
artisan, small batch." Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That the microbrewery. Give me a fucking beer already. I gotta choose between 98 beers.
Well, it's like that. You ever been to that bar McSorley's? They had just 2 choices of beer, like light beer and dark beer. I'm like, oh, this is good because I don't like too many choices. I get overwhelmed.
I get overwhelmed myself. But that's what the problem is. There's no more family-owned places. It's a bunch of millionaires getting together and say, let's open up artisan. We had this oven brought from Sicily for $400,000 for pizza, for a $15 pizza. So obviously, if it was a family-owned business, they would have the balls and say, you're not shutting my family down. These are just investments.
Wow.
What's up is not the millionaire. He's always going to be a millionaire. It's the person who's making $18 an hour serving you. That's the person that gets slammed.
It's an interesting correlation because it's like if you see the businesses kind of falling apart because they're no longer really family owned, and then you look at, well, there seems to be a greater trend going on of like there is kind of an anti-family trend going on kind of above it all, like kind of in politics, in culture. It seems like the powers that be kind of want to break up the family. And it's like now we see that that's the effect it's having on small businesses too, or just businesses in general. There's no fight because it's not like your life depends on it. It's like you said, it's just an investment.
They like to take the fight out of people. That's the first step, when they would say, "Oh, you should work your problems out with this." No, you want like a girl's getting picked on. You know what she should do? She should reach out. No, she needs to call her big brother to kick the living shit out of the person who's bothering her. That's what she needs to do. That's so. They like to whittle away at the family at every level. And that's what they've done it. And they're just gonna pay. Society pays for it.
Yeah. There's just so much that's been lost in New York City. Like, have you been in there recently in the last,
Sure.
10 months?
And so, like now there's weed dispensaries. What happened to the bodega who sold a nickel bag of weed? I put that guy's kids through college. On him now. Go to the bodega, buy yourself a bag of weed.
I know it's gonna be really scary because New York right now feels soulless and empty. And for me, I don't think it's gonna start coming back until I see Broadway starting to come back. Because then I'll be like, all right, folks with some disposable income, like there's enough audience to sort of keep Broadway going, and then that means I think everybody else will be able to stay afloat. But that I don't see that coming back for a while, and like. It's very scary. And I think that's why I think people such as yourself who kind of tell it like it is are needed more so in life, but also in comedy, because I just think there aren't enough people who are honest like you and telling it like it is. And it's so refreshing because so few people in our culture right now tell our politicians are full of shit. Our news people are full of shit. they're censoring comedians. They're censoring anybody who has like a different opinion than the liberal mob. So I think there's going to be such a hunger for people who tell it like it is. And I think, comedians like you, Fred, I feel like are really poised to, I think, do well in this kind of like post-lockdown comedy rebirth.
I've been poised for 20 years now. If I'm any more poised, I'm going to fucking fall over.
You're like, I've been poised. Thanks very much.
I don't understand why Broadway is closed. First of all, Broadway put so many people to work. The hotel industry in Manhattan is all over Broadway. All the restaurants, all the people who work in the theaters. You go to a Broadway show, the nearest actor is 20 feet away from you. You sit there. All right, you come with 4 people. You sit, you have 2 spaces in between the next people. I have no clue why Broadway would be closed. And I'll tell you another thing. All the owners of those theaters, when it first happened, to be politically correct, they all got together and said, we're going to close and we're going to support the shutdown. And now they're all starving. Now they all got together and they started to sue the mayor and the governor. But you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, because you know what? Everyone thought it would just be 2 weeks and they were just trying to like be good and obey and behave. And it's like, no, we fucked ourselves.
They really fucked themselves. And if anything has to go back in Manhattan, it's Broadway shows. There's just too many theaters and too many people who make a living off of Broadway shows. Listen, have a warning. Have a warning. If you go to this show, if you wear a mask or something, you could get the fucking flu, okay? You could buy cigarettes and chain smoke them. It's got a little warning this big. What the fuck? A Broadway show. Put it on the ticket. That's it.
Yeah, I know. I think they shut it down because the people who rehearse are close to one another, like the actors. But
you get COVID tested.
Yeah, just do it at your own risk, just like everything else in life.
Everything.
I'm just going back to what you said. You're like, I've been poised. Well, the thing is, Fred, it's like you've been working and I think crushing it all along. I think your career doesn't rely on, the late night comedy scene. You've carved out your own space for yourself. Like it's, you're out working at so many different clubs, which maybe is not what people imagine is like a glamorous comedian lifestyle, but it's like you're somebody who always, I think, had regular work. I think we also did a show together. It was like a fundraiser for, I don't know if it was the Shriners or the Masons or something. We were in like a big theater.
I remember that. Yeah.
And that was like one of the most fun times just because I was like, it just felt so good to make like a room full of people laugh. And, no one there is a scout for JFL. Nobody in that room is like, oh, let me put her on a fancy showcase. They're just regular people who want to have a good time.
Yeah, that's the best part of doing comedy is meeting real people and meeting good people who just came out to have a good time. They didn't come in with all these other things on their mind or saying, if they talk about this, I'm not going to let, everybody has all different things, to say, and it might be not what you believe in, but it's still funny. So they laughed. I love those. A lot of times in these clubs, you get a certain group of people who go in and they say, if they talk about this, I'm not going to laugh. I'm going to tell them I don't want to go there no more. And so some of the clubs, especially in the cities, I don't know.
What kind? If you could describe these people that don't seem to want to laugh, how would you categorize them?
These are people who have nothing else, but they're looking for an identity, and their identity now has been given to them. You are the people who are looking for something that could be said that's racist, something that could be said in color. So when you hear it, you're supposed to react and let the world know that you're not racist. And meanwhile, who gives a shit what you are? Sit back, enjoy the show, but there's too many people. I'll make a joke about about Obama. I'll make a joke about the wall. I'll make a joke. And 99% of the people laugh. You see 99 people laughing. There's always one asshole who goes, that shit, what are you talking about that for? You're a racist. Like, what? So that people come in with those things and they wait for it. They'll wait and see if you say anything off color. Now they have a cause.
Do they, have you been like heckled a lot? Like, are you noticing like the person just gets quiet or like kind of recedes a little bit? Or have you ever actually gotten into any like back and forths with an audience member over something that maybe was offensive to them?
I was at the Boca Black Box. I think it was about 6, right before this pandemic happened. Right before it. And I was there and I was doing my all the thing. And I look at the audience and I see everybody's laughing. And then as soon as I started to get a tiny bit political, 2 people out of the whole crowd, 2 people, they were like in the 3rd row. Guy and his wife, maybe 50 years old, their arms folded, they got stiff, and they were like, and I said, oh, here they come. So I like to lay it on a little more thick. I don't usually do that much political, but I laid it on a little thick. They got up out of their seat. They started yelling at me, you're a racist, giving me the finger, fuck you, fuck you. And I was like, so I just made a joke out of it. I go, that's the last time I tell my parents to come to this show, you know?
Have you ever...
and people booed them. They were like, get out of here then. If you don't like it, get out of here. And that was pretty much it.
That's good. That's good. Have you ever walked anybody? Well, did these people walk out or did they stay?
Yeah, walked out, giving me the and fuck you while they were walking out and everybody was clapping. I was like,
oh man,
I planned it better than that.
Those are the best moments because it feels a little bit, at least to me, it feels a little bit of a risk to like call out a heckler because you're like, will the audience have my back? Will it be funny? You know, a lot of it is just improvising. You don't really plan what you're going to say to a heckler. You just have to like really quickly, like just assess what they're wearing, what they look like, who they're with. And then like, if all else fails, like, I don't know, call them gay. That's what I usually say. That's my go-to.
And by the way, they're usually not.
Yeah.
Those
yeah.
are people with the most sense of humor, right?
Yeah. What's like what are some of the weirdest places you've ever done comedy?
The weirdest one of the weirdest. I've done comedy sometimes for like a memorial.
Oh no.
And like, it was a big place. It was a big auditorium. And the guy got up and he started talking about somebody who had like just died of like brain cancer.
Oh no.
And he was saying, you know, this is that. So we're going to do a thing for brain cancer. We're going to try. So we have a comedian. Let's welcome Freddie Rubino. And I come out and I didn't even notice it because I was backstage. There's a huge picture of the guy with like flowers around the picture right in back of me on the stage. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to make this funny?
How did you make it funny?
I said, well, if I know the guy. I said, if anybody knew him, I said, there wasn't much cancer because of the small amount of brain that was embedded.
Like, not only is he dead, but I'm calling him dumb.
I didn't know what to do. I'm like, it's a memorial.
When did you
things like that? And I said,
yeah.
I even asked, is this a memorial?
Man, I remember, God, I did my mom's memorial. I like planned it and threw it together because it was really odd. Like, she died when she was living in Florida a couple of years ago. And my dad just like ended up not doing anything at all. And I was like, well, I have to do something. Like, people need closure. And I remember I was like, wow. And all of my skills kind of kicked in. Like, my comedy producing skills kicked in. My comedy hosting skills kicked in. Not like I was trying to be funny. It's like, but then again, everyone's there. And I ended up cracking a couple of jokes. I was like,
I waste a good crowd.
Yeah, I know. I was like, man, I have a captivated audience right now. This is, and they're vulnerable. Maybe they'll laugh, I think I said something to the effect, I'm like, if mom was here, she would be like we'd be gossiping about the people who aren't here. like, definitely like a lot of, who she would be talking shit about, and also just like amazed at how the Radio Shack is still in business. And this was in 2018, so it's like it was kind of amazing at the time.
I did something similar at my father's mass.
Oh,
he died, and I have two older brothers, and they were like, I said, you got to go up there. You're the oldest brother. They go, I'm not going. You're the one who talks a lot. You talk. You go up there. So I went up there and I said, hey, thank you everybody for coming. And I said, and I got a little choked up, and I said, I promised myself I wouldn't cry until I got the limo bill. And it just comes out, right? It just comes out of you.
yeah, dude. Like, you know what I didn't expect either, because I was paying for some of it, and it's like me and my dad were the ones paying for this whole thing, because I like scheduled it all. Like, I'm the only family member left in New York. I was like, okay, I'll handle it. And then I remember getting the bill for the bar, and I was like, who the fuck ordered Grey Goose? Who the fuck ordered Grey Goose? You know what I mean? I'm like, who in my family? I'm like, who's the fancy bitch that showed up? I'm looking around the room. Like, I mean, this is after everybody kind of dispersed, and I'm just like settling up. I'm looking around at the bar. I'm like, who the fuck ordered a Grey Goose? And like 3 or 4 of them. I was like, wow. I was like, I guess everybody grieves in different ways, and some people have to grieve through top shelf booze. I'm like, I'm over there drinking literally this is how I order a vodka tonic or a vodka soda. I'm like, yeah, whatever's laying around. That's how I order it.
You ain't coming to Dad's wake, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. I was like, you better bring a road soda to the next thing, because I am not going to be paying for 4 Grey Gooses. I'm never going to get over that. And I have to figure out who it was. I don't know. I have a feeling it might have been my sister-in-law, to be totally honest, but yeah, it's interesting. So when did you?
I'm sorry.
Wait,
now
what?
You got getting drunk at like their wake.
Oh yeah, whose wakes have you gotten drunk at?
Every single wake, I think
Every single one.
Been drunk. But
you gotta.
The person costs you $80 in Grey Goose. You go up to the casket when they're there. You pour some. Here, have some more Grey Goose, you bastard.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not even real Grey Goose. It's the Grey Goose bottle, and I filled it up with house vodka. Are you happy?
With rubbing alcohol.
Oh yeah, yeah. You could clean your car with this shit. I don't know why that bothers me. I think it's the idea of people taking advantage of a situation. I don't know.
Sure.
When did you realize, Fred, like, man, I'm becoming like an Italian comedian? Like, was that always your voice? Or were you just like, oh man, my Italian jokes are really hitting hard, I should lean into this?
What happened was the first like 15, 20-minute set that I wrote, I worked construction. And, beginning, you always have to bring a show. That's how you got.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I did a bunch of them. Yeah.
So for like the first 4 years, I would just do bringer shows. So I worked construction. So I'm on this construction site. There's 20 guys. You want to go to see Freddie? Come on. So they loved me. The Gotham loved me. New York comedy. Because I would bring 20 guys who wanted to drink their face off. So they would be like, yeah, Freddie, anytime you want to come. So I would do that, and I would do construction jokes, a lot of racial stuff, a lot of really hardcore, stuff like that. But
not woke, not PC stuff.
I'm still drowsy, by the way. I'm not really woke.
That's good.
I'm starting the drowsy movement. We're just a little woke.
That's funny. We got one eye open. It's more fun. Yeah.
But then I started doing, like getting called to private shows and stuff. And I'm like, I can't say this in front of all these people. So I started to say, all right, I have to start writing stuff that's more family, stuff like that, especially Italian. And then I just started saying, I'm getting more gigs doing that. So I kind of just wrote a whole new set for that.
Wow. So you actually had to scrap a lot of your old stuff because you were a little too dirty.
Yeah, most of it, as a matter of fact.
I'm just picturing you in a construction outfit.
Doing it now. I've seen my jokes out there, so.
You have?
Oh, yeah. I'm in the crowd. I was like, oh, my God, I haven't said that joke in 6 years. How does this guy? And it didn't work for me. There were crickets for this guy. How the fuck did he do that? What?
Really? So other comics have stolen your material and you've heard them. You've heard them tell it on stage.
I've actually been there when they've done.
You've been in the room. So same show.
No, not the same show. I'd either be in the room and I was like passing by and like, hey, let's go. I hear there's a show there. Oh, let's go. And the guy gets up there and I'm like, oh, dude, what are you doing? You know?
Wow. Who?
I don't want to do the name, but I could tell you the jokes.
Okay, yeah.
One
So
of
people yes. I want to know actually.
was instead of saying the N word, I would say enigma. And I would say, my friend is an enigma. He lives up in Harlem. There's a lot of enigmas up there, you know. So I would get away with that, you know, without.
He's a mystery, yeah.
Yeah, he's a mystery wrapped in a riddle. So
wow.
Seeing the guy do it, I was like, oh my God. So nobody is doing an enigma joke. And he's doing it almost word for word. And then I had another joke about nobody cooking anymore in my family. We go to like a resort. And then I went to Mohegan Sun. And they have all Indian names. I said, and we got like Italian names going up there. Like Big Mouth, Moron, and I'm Fuckface, you know? So, and then I heard, I actually seen it on some guy did like a little special he put together to try and sell. And
man.
Joke. I was like, are you? And this guy used to perform with me a lot. So I said, I didn't do that joke in 3 years, but it's still alive and well.
It lives on. Yeah. Wow. It's your legacy. Man, that would fill me full of rage to hear. Cause it's like, you know what your jokes are. They're like your little babies, you know, sometimes you don't do them anymore. They're not in your, you know, your pen, so to speak. They're not in your hot list, but it's like, you know, all your old jokes. How did it make you feel to be like, this motherfucker is telling my joke and I'm right here? I mean, they probably don't even realize it. They probably just like think it's I don't know. To me, there's a difference between parallel thinking, which a lot of comics do have. Maybe it's like, oh, I have a joke about shaving my balls. Oh, so do I. But it's like when you hear something that's word for word, like it sounds like you did. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Oh, the worst one was I do a whole bit about candy. About when I was a kid. That was the most important thing in my life. You know, now something happens in the world, you get like Greta Thunberg,
yeah.
Well, let's see what a kid has to say about the Constitution. I'm like, Constitution?
She's a shill. She's not a kid. Yeah, she's.
So, you know, I used to say, my only thing was candy, and I do about 4 or 5 minutes, maybe more, about candy. I'm in a show one time in Long Island, and this guy comes in. And he says, I want to do a little guest spot. All right, sure. I know the guy from Long Island. He comes up. He does 4 minutes, word for word of my candy thing.
What? That's so specific to you. Like, who has a joke about candy?
And it's a specific candies.
Like candies.
I don't know for all candies, they're specific. So when he got off the stage, he comes by and his jacket was like on the floor. And he looks at me and I go, if I ever see you again, I'm going to right in the fucking mouth. And he goes, why? He goes, I told you we had similar bits. I go, right in the fucking mouth. Don't make believe you know me. Don't say hello to me. And he grabs his jacket and goes, I can't fucking believe it. I go, get the fuck. And then I went up and I did the same bit. And what is that? I go, that guy's a hack. He stole my bit, but I wrote it. It took me 4 months. I'm doing my own bit. And I got a good ovation for it.
Wow, good for you. Honestly, if I had been in that position, I wouldn't have had the balls to do my own bit again. I'd be like, they've heard it. They're going to think I'm the thief, you know?
I said, this fucking guy's probably wearing my jacket by now in the back. He's taking everything.
Do you remember what club you were at where you heard this?
I was at it was like a hotel in Long Island that does comedy.
Oh my God. I think I performed there once. Was it maybe it was a hotel / like conference room. Like you go downstairs.
Yes.
Oh my God. Was it called Gateway?
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah, yeah. I tried to tape an album there like years ago, and I never did anything with it.
Yeah, I
Wow.
was, and I did. We did. The room was packed. It was very nice, and this fucking asshole did it. And I go, if I ever we cross paths, I go, don't make believe I'm your friend. I said it'll be very bad, very bad.
Did you ever see him again?
No, but what he did was he was in the back when I called him out and I told everybody he's a hack.
Oh, he was in the room when you did it?
Then I did a video on Facebook saying his name and everything, and he goes, "Oh yeah," he goes, "Why don't we see each other and we'll settle it like men?" I go, "Dude, I was right in your face. I told you." I said, "Don't fucking do it again." So he's even known to be like a pretty big hack. So
Yeah, it's like the longer you do comedy, the more you hear like the same kind of names, the same few names you hear over the years, like so and so tends to take bits, but
right,
they're not people I bump into a lot. So,
thank
and
God.
there have been times where I've seen people on stage and I've gone like, I swear I've heard this joke before.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I hear people doing Henny Youngman jokes,
Hmm.
and Jesus Christ, how is this person hired anymore?
Wow. That's frustrating, but like, I think I remember when I was an intern. I know this is going to sound like such a stupid like anecdote, but I was an intern at Late Night with Conan O'Brien, and I asked one of the writers, I think his name was Jose Arroyo. I was like, "What do you do when someone steals your jokes? Like, does it happen a lot?" And he said to me, and I like still remember it. He's like, "You know what? They can take a bucket of water, but they can't take the well." But now that I'm like all these years older, I'm like, oh, that's sage advice. But I would react like you did. I'd be like, let me crush someone's fucking skull. Like, because you can spend months, you could spend years polishing a joke.
You know that when you write a joke, when I write a joke, like the last bit that I wrote was about 3 minutes long. At the end of 4 months of suffering through those 3 minutes, it's down to a 45-second joke now
Mm-hmm.
because you throw out all
Cut the
this
fat. Mm-hmm.
and you go, okay, this is the real humor of it. So you suffered through 6 shows or 8 shows with this, and now you got it. That is the bit. I always get a laugh. It's tuned, and somebody just goes, "Oh, thank you."
Uh,
That's the worst part of the business. And I have the pleasure of doing a lot of jokes on Facebook. I do a lot of bits. I do a lot of little skits. And what I do is if I can, I bring that to the stage. It's a minute and a half and stuff. So I bring it. And a lot of people go, "Oh, do that bit," so and I see other people trying to take
mm,
it and doing it. And I'm like, fucking right. The whole pleasure is to see something you wrote make someone laugh. What's the
yeah.
what's the use in doing someone else's? You didn't write it. It's not your talent.
Ugh. Yeah, I totally get it. And it's like, no, man, you have to bomb 6 times on that joke or whatever it is. It's like,
Right,
it's the shows that you went through having it not do so well or it get, half a laugh. It's like, then you deserve to have it pay off when it's really polished.
right. That's what it is, and that's the biggest crime of the whole thing. But
Yeah.
like I said, like the sage said, these are people who really can't write. So they're still losers because they just can't come up with another one. They just got to look to steal something else. And then after a while, you notice half their set is stolen. You're like, you're not really a comedian, are you?
Oof. Wow. Yeah. And only really, it's like,
I don't even mind when a comic does a shit joke because you wrote it. At least you wrote it. At least you got the balls to be up there doing your own stuff.
yeah, yeah, it's more respectable that way. Um, it's interesting. I'm just trying to think like, because I always ask people like who they've enjoyed working with or going on tours with or maybe opening for or who they've enjoyed that's opened from them. But I feel like you're usually like a solo guy. You're usually the headliner.
Yeah, I have been headlining for a while now, but I've had the pleasure of working with Richie Minerini,
Oh yeah.
a great comic and just a great guy. Sometimes Richie Schultes I perform with a lot now,
Oh yeah.
and I just get along with these guys. because they're real people. You know, you can ask them, you could joke around. You don't have to worry about being offended. They don't have to worry about you being offended. And you two comedians just commiserating, if I may use that word.
You may. I sometimes feel like there are kind of two worlds of comedians. There's like the comics that I feel like they mostly get up in the city. They've got a really killer 5 minutes, but if you were to throw them on the road and say do 45 minutes, they would shit their pants.
And it's brutal. You usually see when the material runs out. You're like, doing good.
So what else is new?
Oh shit! Somebody.
So what else? I mean, I know that feeling. I've had that feeling, but poof. I mean, I feel like road guys, they can do 5 minutes on like a late night show, but definitely not the other way around.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. I agree with you 1,000%. And sometimes, I'll go to like Boston. I've been doing shows in Minnesota, and it's a different crowd, but if you're being funny for those crowds, you kind of get a little more confidence that, hey, I could do this in front of a broad base of people. But like you said, you have to have an hour. I had someone call me up not too long ago. Could you do an hour and a half? I go, I'm not fucking doing an hour and a half.
Nobody should be doing an hour and a half unless you're like, it just so happens that way. You always want to plan to do an hour or 45. And if it goes long, it goes, you know what I mean? If you're something touched by God or something, you're like letting it rip. Like,
there's very few things on earth I want to do for an hour and a half.
Yeah, the whole show should be an hour and a half, like host, feature, headliner. Because people tap out after 90 minutes. That's the sweet spot on attention spans.
Right, I agree. And also, I also run into the problem with like, we got the MC for you. Oh, okay. They do a half hour.
No. That's horrible. That's so selfish. Oh.
Now, I appreciate the selfishness of it, but I don't appreciate, not being funny for the last 20 minutes either,
Yeah, I know. I sometimes feel like, yes, it would be nice for like the glitz, the sort of glamour of like, oh, I'm on this, I have a Netflix special. But it's like at the end of the day, it's like, with the two groups of comics, like the flashy, glamorous, I have 5 minutes. And then there's like, yeah, the hardened, tried and true road comics. It's like the road comics to me are the people who have more long lasting fans, people who remember you year after year, who are going to come see you. I feel like you're much less memorable just having 5-10 minutes, like once in a while on a late night show.
Yeah. You're usually the other guy. And the other guy was funny too.
Yeah. Oh, the other guy. My favorite thing is like, I usually don't like women. I usually don't think women are funny, but you're not too bad. You're pretty funny broad. Yeah, pretty good. I like the skirt. I like the heels. You got a pretty good set, and your jokes are nice too.
Yeah, you start off already hating them. I usually don't like women. Well, thank you very much.
And they think they're the first person to ever say that to you. It's like, no, I hear that like once a month from somebody.
Outside of New York, like after the show, I'd be talking to them, I'd shaking people's hand, and they'll go, okay, the show's over. Enough with the accent. Okay.
Oh, wow. Really think you're faking it?
Yeah, I was like, what? What accent? The whole Brooklyn thing. You could stop now. I was like, I could?
Can I? You're like, what are you talking about?
How am I gonna talk now?
And they're like, oh, wow, that's your real voice. Wow, okay.
That there really are people like this who are Italians who grew up in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's like a cartoon, but you're real. You're real.
I'm real.
You're real. Fred, do you have any shows coming up? Do you have anything you'd like to plug, promote? Where can the good people of the internet find you, follow you, support you, love you?
Good people of the internet, meet me on YouTube and Facebook. I will also be somewhere in Florida in February. I keep on forgetting where it is. I have to look at it, but that's okay. And I will be doing a podcast myself coming soon, probably in the end of February. And I think we're going to also come out with an internet game show, a drinking show. Me, a couple of other comics, and It's going to be like a call-in show where you drink if you lose, and it's a whole thing like that. So I got things coming up. I got things in the hopper. Do they still say hopper?
Sure. In the can. I've heard in the can.
I know you've heard in the can, but I'm saying in the hopper.
Sounds like an STD, but I'm here for it. I think it sounds. I want to have something in the hopper. Oh, I do have something in the hopper.
You got a hopper.
I have a hopper. Here we go. So February 19th and 20th, I'm going to be at Hyenas in Dallas. And February 26th, I'm going to be at I think it's the Soul Joel Comedy Club somewhere in Pennsylvania with the comedians of the compound. So please get your tickets for that ASAP, guys. And, follow me on all the things. Fred, where can people find you, follow you on social media?
On Facebook, just type in Fred Rubino. Go to YouTube, type in Fred Rubino, Instagram, Fred Rubino, fredrubino.com, or just call the local clinic on YouTube.
I love you, Fred. You're a blast. We'll have to get together in real life one day soon.
I look forward to performing with you again.
In the hopper. Yeah. Yes, definitely. We gotta do a catering hall together sometime soon.
Yes.
Love you, Fred.
Love you. Thank you.